And we're up and recording. Greetings, everybody. This is Wesley Pepper. This is the Art Lexcia podcast. This is episode 157. And welcome to everybody, to all my new and returning listeners. Much love to everybody. Just one announcement before I get to today's guest. The awards for the APVA podcast awards is on the 27th and 28th of September. So, yeah, I'm holding. I don't really like the holding fingers thing. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. But I'm just really honored to be nominated. And much love to everybody that voted for me and the judges and stuff. And yeah, thanks for that. I I really appreciate it. Yeah, man. And thanks to Buzz, Bridget and Flo for all the great work they are doing. Yeah, man. And let's get into today's recording. I've got a very interesting guest today. Yeah, he's a comedian I remember you from the Pio Manati show. That show was absolutely legendary. But we're not talking about Chris Forrest's comedy today. Or maybe that's just another offspring of his comedy. We're talking about the Ultimate Braai Experience, which will be hosted on the 25th to the 27th of October at Montecasino. But before we get into that, my brother, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good to be here. I'm glad you still remember the Pio Manati show. You're showing your age a bit there.
I do. Yeah, no, I'm flexing the age there. No, that show was legendary. And I mean, it gave rise, I think, to SA comedy, what it is today. Yeah, I remember that. I remember it fondly. Also, my bro, I'm also a fan of your comedy. I think you're a pretty funny dude. So there's your flowers from the Art Lexcia.
Thanks very much. Yes. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no. Let's get into it, man. The Ultimate Braai Experience, a massive. They say it's South Africa's biggest braai event, or at least that's what the press release says. Tell us a little bit about it, man. Tell us a little bit about your involvement, and then we'll unpick it a little bit by bit, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
So brace yourself. It's a long story. So I'm sure you know the TV show, The Ultimate Braai Master Live. I mean, The Ultimate Braai Master.
Yeah, man.
So I won a different reality TV show a while ago called MasterChef. Celebrity MasterChef, which is a little bit like Remedial MasterChef. And so since then I've been in the food space, because the weird thing is I didn't really know how to cook going into the competition. So I've been doing a lot of stuff in the food space, and my favorite thing to do as far as food goes is braai. So I love a good braai. I've always loved a good braai. And then I kind of looked around and I sort of thought to myself, we've got some braai festivals, but nothing that blows my mind. I won't mention any names, but I went to a few and they kind of disappointed me. So I decided to create my own. So I approached a few people who I thought would make a really cool team. We started a company called Cooking on Coals Events. So the original name for the festival was going to be the Cooking on Coals Festival, or Cockfest, if you will. And then, yeah, no. And then, as fate would have it, I was doing an appearance I was appearing as a guest judge on the Ultimate Braai Master TV show, and I got chatting to a few people there, and they said to me, "Well, why are you reinventing the wheel? Why don't you call it the Ultimate Braai Master? Ultimate Braai Master Live Festival." So that's how the name changed. We became the Ultimate Braai Master because it's an established brand, and so we had our first one last year. It was amazing. It's kind of different to a lot of festivals. So we have similar aspects. Like obviously we've got the beer tent. We've got like a wine route where you can go through. We're going to have like basically 14 different either craft distilleries or wine farms there. We're going to have some craft beer there as well. And we've got the expo with all the braai stuff. If you're a braai person, different braai gadgets that you can use at a braai, actual braais. We've got some really, really cool stuff there. Like smokers braais, bond braais, camping braais. What's it called? Gaucho braais. We got it.
What's that?
Which a gaucho braai.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's an Argentinian braai. It's kind of how to describe it. You've got your grid, and it's got like it's on a pulley system, and then you've got these like fire bricks underneath that keep the heat in, so you can put your meat on and then slowly but surely lower it down. Sort of like, when you take the tray out and you put it in, but much easier, much nicer.
Yeah.
And it's designed. It's the way the Argentinians do is very cool. We've also I've gotten very much into the smoking side of things. So I don't know how much smoking you do, as in meat,
Well,
not as in.
Of both, actually.
That was last year. Last year, I was on one of the radio stations talking about the Braai Festival, and they asked me why, because one of the guys was selling these really awesome Wi-Fi thermometers, and they said, "Why would you need?" Yeah, I've got the Bluetooth version. I'm not that fancy, but I'm close enough.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, so they said to me, "Why would you want a Wi-Fi meat thermometer?" And so, in chef's terms, like a leg of lamb would be referred to as a joint. So genuinely not even thinking about it, I said, when you're smoking a joint? And then they like looked at me, and I was like, yeah, when you're smoking a joint. And then the second time I said it, I was like, okay, I just heard it myself. Never mind. But where was so I've gotten big into smoking. So we've got some really, really top-notch hero smokers. These Kamado Yuns, they're brilliant. You must check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably going to have a few offset ones. I'm still speaking to a man called Big George who makes them, and a guy called myself and Asveg, and he makes the barrel smokers. As you can tell, I'm very excited. So anyway, so we've got all the cool sort of braai gadgets and paraphernalia, and there's also the other stuff, the chili sauces, the spices, all of that type of thing. We've also got we've checked that they are awesome. We've got really good food on sale. So we've got
that's important.
Yeah, so and they're all, well, with the exception of obviously the guys who sell like ice cream or whatever, but the meat is all like either smoked or braised or whatever. We've got halal there as well. We've got bases covered. The only one we are still waiting on is the vegans. But
Vegans.
But
isn't that a bit of a? I mean, braai meat. So I mean, isn't that the whole brand?
There's something to be said about braaiing vegetarian food. My good friend, who's actually one of the chefs on the show, Pete Goffwood, one of the judges on Ultimate Braai Master, he's got this theory that we've got to be nice to the vegans, because at some point we are going to run out of food. There's going to be a food shortage on Earth, and at that point we can harvest the vegans.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure they taste yummy.
They'll be delicious. They're like grass-fed, free-range organic. Anyway, so we've got a lot of really good, and trust me, I've tested all the food. It's all top-notch. It's brilliant. And then what we have as well, we've got the Braai demos. So, but because of I do what I do, they're not just traditional demos. So after I won MasterChef, me and Pete, the guy I was talking about now, we actually started doing a cooking comedy show together called Don't Burn Your Sausage, which is exactly as the name suggests, is all about food and sex. And so we traveled the country, and we did a thing for one of the coffee manufacturers, and we went to all these festivals, and I noticed that there's a lot of really, really good chefs who didn't necessarily have a big audience, because I mean, a food demo is very difficult to keep the audience engaged, but we always had nice crowds, and mostly standing room only. So I've taken that concept, and so now we pair a comedian with a chef. So when you're watching a demo, you're not watching a stand-up show, just before anyone gets worried, but the comedian is sort of commenting on what the chef's doing, asking questions, talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of the cases they're learning from the chef as well, which is pretty cool. So last year we had some really cool guys. We had the likes of Richelieu Barnois, we had Dave Levinson, we had Jason Goliath, we had Nick Goliath, we had me, obviously. We had a lot of fun, and we had top braai chefs, Pete Goffwood, Benny Masekwameng. We had a couple of winners from Ultimate Braai Master, whose names I can't remember. We had Boris Borman, Moses Malloy, Kevin Wright, Chef Feike, Docs and Chops fame, because I know you're a big fan of Chops. So all of those, and then we paired them with comedians. So we're doing that again this year because it was hugely popular last year. Everyone really enjoyed that. And then we also, because it is Ultimate Braai Master, one of the things we didn't do last year that we're doing this year is we are actually having a braai competition. So you can enter, but also if you really love braai food, but you don't think you're going to win, you can also buy a judging ticket. They're very limited.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can be a judge, and you can, Benny or Pete will put you on the judging course. We've got to decide which one on which day. And then you get a t-shirt that says official Ultimate Braai Master Live Judge 2024. And you get to taste everyone's food and judge who the best is. Don't just buy a judging ticket if your brother's in the competition though, and you're just trying to get him through.
Yeah, okay. A few things I wanna say that. Firstly, I read about the people that can pay to be a judge. I think that's quite original. But I'll get there. Just to take a step back quickly, when you were talking about all the braai equipment and stuff, is that lucrative? Because that's interesting. That shows that like braaiing is really taken off and become a bit more mainstream. And I mean, people are clearly paying a lot of money for all of these gadgets. Is it a popular thing? Are people spending money on it?
It's quite popular. Like, I mean, if you're looking to buy a braai, because I mean the braais you're buying here are not, you don't buy a new braai every year unless you're me, which drives my wife insane because I currently have 3 that all have different uses.
Okay, interesting.
You must go to Pete's house. He's got about 20. But anyway, if you're buying a braai, this is probably the best place to come because you'll see the variety, you get the comparison, and the guys who make them will be able to tell you. You know, if you go to like a shop, you might see 20 different braais, and the guys who sell them won't necessarily know what you can do with all of them. Like one of the things that kills me is when people have a like kettle braai, which you can use as a normal grill, and most people do, but there's also so much more you can do if you just put the lid on. You know what I mean? Like it changes everything. And then you can do off direct heat. You can do like a bear up the bum chicken, for lack of a better term, like that type stuff. You can like smoke your stuff. You can do whatever. Like they're very versatile, but most guys will just make like a fire and gooi the wors and it chops.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
So
that's super interesting. Sorry, continue.
No, that's you. You carry on. I'll babble on about this stuff for ages. So
Yeah,
it's your podcast.
I can tell. Firstly, having 3 braais, we actually have 2, but the one is mobile because the person who built the braai built it directly in the sun. So if you're braaiing in the afternoon, you also get barbecued as well. So now I have a little mobile one which I move around. But I'm actually not surprised that there's this I guess uptake in braaiing thing. So just another question on that, and the last one on the gadgets. So you were talking about braais itself, but I'm sure there's other stuff like tongs and forks and stuff like that.
There's tongs, there's forks, there's braai gloves. There's, as I said, the thermometers will be there. There's like random stuff like chop racks or rib racks or like a fish rack. I think I just sounded like I was from Durban. I said fish, but anyway, fish, like all of this stuff. There'll probably be like potjie pots. There'll be like the things for the potjie pots. There's a guy, his company's called Braai Guys. He's got like this. You can't see my hand, so I'm gonna have to lift it. It's like this thing that adapts to your braai. It's, how to put it, it's like a triangular thing, and then you can use that to elevate your grill if your fire's too hot. There's a guy called Avi. His company's called Craft Braai. They've got these braai bags, so you can actually, the party trick is to do popcorn in the bag. So you do popcorn on the braai.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to punt one of our sponsors here, because Six Gun Grill.
Yeah, I was
on popcorn. Yeah, so Six Gun Grill is that. I mean, its main use is you put it on your steak or whatever as a meat rub.
Yeah, man.
But do some popcorn on the braai, sprinkle a little bit of Six Gun on it, and it is.
I want to try.
Yeah, you must try it. I don't know. I'll send you a video of popcorn being done on the braai. I'll send it to Bridget Nick. But and then like there's these other guys called Braai Time. they've developed this thing that you kind of, if you've got a built-in braai, which it sounds like you do, it kind of bolts onto your wall and it's got these holes in it. So you can tilt your grill and change it according to, once again, how hot your fire is or whatever, or if you want to do chops and chicken at the same time. It's a really, really awesome thing.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Man.
and a lot of them, what's cool is a lot of these are South African inventions, which is really nice.
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask, like, especially with to do with the meat and then the food. Is it all locally sourced?
Well, the meat, as far as I know, is our suppliers, I would imagine, but I cannot guarantee that.
Yeah.
No, because like, I mean, a fair amount. Like, if I don't vet the food trucks and go, is your chicken all from South Africa type thing, or is it? I would assume beef is local because our beef is brilliant, but I know in South Africa a lot of the chicken is imported.
Yeah, from the States.
From the States, and then they inject brine in it or whatever the controversy was. And I know some guys, when they do pork ribs, it might also not be local. The best pork ribs are local though.
Do you guys like do a quality check on the meat before you use braai to cook it?
Oh, you mean just in general or at the festival? So we've got,
let's say, just for the festival. So yeah,
just for the festival. No, so we've got a great F&B guy. His name's Dwayne Riley. I don't know if you know who Billy Gallagher was.
Don't ring a bell.
No, so Billy Gallagher was like the uber South African chef back in the day. Sadly, he passed away a few years ago. But Dwayne was his like right-hand man. He's still the MD of the Billy Gallagher Association. He's our food and beverage guy. So he maintains the cold chain and makes sure all the food is top notch, etc., etc. He's very good at this.
Okay. Yeah, because I would think, like, I mean, since your product is food, it has to be of a certain quality. And like, I get a sense from what you guys are doing here, like we're doing the arts, you like build little ecosystems. You try to involve as many local companies, to grow the industry. Yeah, man, so that's pretty cool. And you also said you guys got craft beer and wine and all of that. So it sounds like a blast. And also another question I wanted to ask, with it's a children friendly thingy. So what exactly, while the adults are buying, what do the kids do?
So we do have a children's area. So the kids can be with the adults. I mean, I think there might be restrictions on them coming into a beer tent.
Yeah,
because obviously alcohol, etc. But other than that, the food area is kiddie friendly. As I said, we're going to have a children's area keep them occupied, make sure they're safe, give them something to do. Because as a dad, myself, this is going to sound terrible, but if I'm looking at what's for me like the equivalent of a toy store for a kid, you don't want your like 8-year-old going, Dad. It's nice to have them doing like on a jumping castle or doing some sort of
exhausting themselves
or whatever it is that they'll be doing.
Chris, here's a question I want to, when I was going through this, that I was quite intrigued, and I'm glad you mentioned it earlier on. You were saying, like, when you have your you guys on the braai, you pair them up with a comedian. I mean, like, you're a seasoned comedian. I mean, you've been around for a while.
No pun intended.
Yeah, okay, well,
seasoned never mind. Yeah,
okay, well, I didn't even thank you for picking that up. It makes me sound smart or something. Here's something like doing comedy versus on stage versus doing it at a braai, or rather in a festival. What type of processes do you go through? What type of comedy are you making? Or and is it, if it's different, how different is it to on stage? And what do you think about the people's reaction? It's like a type of question, 3 questions in one.
Yeah, so it's very different to stand-up comedy. So you'll see all the guys that I've chosen are fairly good at the improv side of things. They are quick on their feet, because stand-up comedy, as much as it looks like it's off the cuff, 90 to 95% of it is planned and written and thought out and rehearsed, even though your rehearsal is on stage, just as a side note. Whereas this is, you're working off what happens on the grill, which we don't know what's going to happen. So you just kind of speaking about that, what's happening in the audience, talking to the audience, interacting with them, dealing with them. So and for me, it's not as pressured. Like when you're on stage doing stand up, you have to get that laugh every kind of third line is my target. Whereas this, it's cool because I'm enjoying the food demo. There's no pressure to be funny. It's more about interacting. And then the funny just comes sort of naturally.
Yeah.
So as I say, and I really loved watching like guys like Jason and Nick and Dave were just hilarious, and Rishley for that matter. And it was awesome just to see them and enjoy like watching their responses. Because I mean, at the same time, as much as they're there to make people laugh, they're also they're learning from the chefs, which is cool as well. We do also have a vegetarian chef. I didn't mention her earlier, Sasha Zambetti. And so a lot of the guys enjoyed learning from her as well.
That's interesting. You were saying like when you're on stage, like you get a punch, your thing is a punchline every 3 lines. I actually sort of see the process there. So when you are, I know. Well, actually, I guess I'm asking this. So when you are when you are with a guest, are you trying to make fun of the food? Are you trying to make fun of the person, or are you just trying to make fun of the
No,
experience? Or is it a combination of all of the above? Just anything.
It's all of the above. So it's not necessarily, when you say make fun of, it's not like, for lack of a better term, once again, no pun intended, it's not like a roast or whatever. It's talking about what's going on. Like in my case, I tend to talk about my own experiences or speak to the people. Like I do most of mine with Pete, and we've been working together for, I'm going to say 8 years. So we know each other very well. He's also a very funny guy. So we banter between the two of us, and we have a really good laugh. So it's a combination of all three, whatever's coming. But it's that's why I chose the guys who can improvise. It's more, it's not knocking people down. It's more lifting people up type of humor.
I see what you're saying. It actually makes it makes complete sense. And I would get a sense like in doing that, in being comedy, that everybody is laughing and having a good time, and that's part of the brand, correct?
Yep. I mean, that's part of what a braai is all about. I mean, if you invite your friend for a braai, you don't say, let's go have a braai and talk about how angry we are.
Yeah.
Everybody stands around a braai and you're having a laugh and chat and if you are doing things properly, you're actually not turning the meat more than once, but you still stand there as if your presence is vital to the.
Yeah, it's like everybody's role play. That's super interesting. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's like, don't let on to the people who don't stand around the braai. You know what I mean? Because otherwise they'll ask you to do stuff. So you got to, like, as a dad, are you a parent?
No.
No. Okay. So I'll teach you a little dad trick right now. So you'll get invited to these kids' birthday parties if you become a dad at some point. And then what happens is you'll see the veteran dads all gravitate, because everybody at the birthday parties I go to tends to do boerie rolls as their like go-to, because it's cheap and everyone loves a boerie roll. Even though at a normal braai, I always say boerewors is like the ginger step kid. It's there, but nobody wants to touch it. It's always like left behind. Have you seen? When there's leftovers, there's always those like. So everyone like who's experienced, you gravitate around the braai, and then you've got the tongs. The guy at the braai master's got his tongs, and you say, "Can I help you? I'll do this," and he'll be like, "No." Because as soon as he puts the tongs down, then you get roped into other stuff. You're blowing whatever. You're cutting rolls, and you're like, I'm here with this guy, and my presence next to him is vital. Otherwise, the smoke blows in his eyes or whatever, and now I'm deflecting it. So there's a tip for all the new dads out there. Any birthday party, except for the first birthday, because I'm going off topic here. But when people have the kid's first birthday, then they go all out. The kid doesn't even remember it. It's not even aware of what's going on. But the parents get super drunk, and unless they don't drink. But after that, hit that braai hard.
There we go. I have to make a note there. I'll try to put that into the shorts as well. Because I chop up the episode and yeah, for
It's not
marketing
just
purposes.
braai advice I give you, it's parenting advice too.
There we go. Like, and that makes sense. It relates to what you were saying earlier on about like that little sense of community. Everybody has a part. Everybody's enjoying each other. And part of one thing as South Africans, we like giving advice to to everybody. Um, one last thing here on the. I wasn't asked about the sponsors, but you mentioned like Six Gun Grill. I also see there's what's it, Mix 93.8. So I assume they'll be
Yep.
playing music and adding to the ambience during the festival.
Yep. They'll be there doing an outside broadcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna have we're still 50-50 on whether or not we're gonna have some DJs after dark, but
No, I was going to
figure that
ask that.
out.
Is there going to be a party afterwards? But I
Yeah.
guess if it's a family thing, you're probably going to be.
It's a family thing, but it's also there is a hotel right there, so even if there's a party, we have to kind of cut it at sort of 9 o'clock. So as I say, we're still deciding.
Just one last question on that. Is it going to be broadcast on TV or SABC or DSTV?
No, probably not. I don't know if Trace is going to do anything with it. It is Trace Studios are the owners of Ultimate Braai Master South Africa, but I think one of the prizes for the braai competition will be a spot on the next season.
Okay.
So that's something there. But if they might film it and do something with it on ETV, that's where Braai Master lives. I think it's on ETV and Netflix as a TV show, but keep in mind, we're not the TV show. That's one of the things some people get confused about. We are the live experience. Like, if you like a good braai, you can't miss out on us.
Yeah, man. Good to know. The judges. That seems like a really cool and interesting gig. So I know, like, if you're watching any of these cooking shows, I guess everybody in their mind is a judge already. So to sort of add this also makes it very interactive. Tell us a little bit about that and what exactly do the judges do? So I see there's a lot of terms and conditions. They only have like three. They can judge three. Stats. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So it's not the stands that you're judging, it's people who've entered the competition.
Okay.
So we want to find the Ultimate Braai Master Live Champion for 2024. Now, I can honestly say after MasterChef, and subsequent, I've been asked to judge a lot of food competitions. And depending on which one you're talking about, like if it's the Puff Ada Girls Junior School, Poiki, what, try and avoid that one. But these guys they'll be filtered out so that we've got guys who know what they're doing with a pair of tongs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah. So I've done a few of those, and the food is always top class. So you are experiencing the best of the best. So like, and the thing about these competitions is, like for example, MasterChef. Those people might not actually make great chefs, because you must remember, a chef isn't just creating one dish; he's creating hundreds per night. So often those people put everything into that one dish, and it comes out spectacular. And that's what you'll be tasting, and then you get to taste that and decide who goes through. It's a really, really cool experience.
Is there I guess, a criteria judging? Do you give them?
There will be a criteria. That's why I say Pete and Benny are experienced judges. I mean, they were the original MasterChef South Africa judges, and now they're the Ultimate Braai Master judges. So often, like they'll decide when we decide the tasks for the competition. Like for example, we'll be like, okay, you have to make, for lack of a better example, we said make chicken the hero in this dish. So it doesn't matter how cool your salad is if you just put out a normal roast chicken. So to do something kind of special with chicken is quite difficult, because chicken is quite what do you do with it? Yeah.
Interesting.
We're not gonna. That would be a terrible task, by the way. That's really boring.
I was listening to how you answering and stuff. It's pretty sharp, my brother. I think your wit is, yeah. No, the wit is on point, and thanks for that. It's still early in the
Thank
morning.
you.
It's always
Thank
good
you.
to have a good crack early in the morning. Uh, Chris, let's just wrap it up here. Tell us a little bit about where, if anybody's watching this, or well, there will be people,
Well,
obviously.
hopefully there are some people. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's
yeah.
just a really random conversation. It would be, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. So,
Where do they let's just start with the judges before we get to the contestants. Is there different, like, how do they, if I want to be part of it, what do I do and so forth?
okay, so we'll still, in terms of the judging tickets, they'll also be there. I think they have already been released. We just, because we're still working out the actual mechanics of the competition. Because to give you the long story, there's a potential sponsor who wants to come on board, but haven't officially yet. So we're not going to talk about it, because they would then do
Yeah.
it would become part of a competition that they're doing.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of insider info for you there. But tickets are available to come and watch, or to just general admission or general VIP tickets are on quicket.co.za.
Okay.
Just search for Ultimate Braai Master Live. The event is on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of October. It's going to be at Montecasino in Fourways. So it's nice and central. It's a really nice venue. It's, what more do you want? It's going to be a great summer's day.
Yeah.
He said, praying hard. Montecasino, Fourways. Tickets, quicket.co.za. The Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I would advise, because the tickets have been on sale for a bit now, and I can already see that the Saturday ones are flying. I think we might actually sell out on Saturday. So if you're planning on the Saturday, get those
Fantastic.
ones quickly. But yeah, the Friday and the Sunday, you might have a little bit more time, but still get them anyway, because I just want to sell tickets.
Yeah.
So we're going to be releasing information soon enough about who's on the lineup, and the times of the dems, etc., and the competition and all of that stuff. But quicket.co.za is the short answer to what you asked.
Yeah, and to my listeners, I'll be putting all that information in the description box there. So if you perhaps missed it, you can always check it out over there. Chris, thanks a lot, my brother. Just in closing, man, your comedy itself, are you still doing shows? Stand
I'm
up,
still doing
so forth?
shows
Anything else that you can push?
Whenever they let me. I'm trying to think what I can push, because I'm mostly busy with the Braai Festival right now. I'm actually
Yeah,
off,
that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
funnily enough, I'm off to Neisner. I don't know what date this is going out, but on Thursday. But sadly, that show's already sold out. So, well, I shouldn't say sadly. I should say happily.
Sadly.
But
Yeah, I
actually,
was going to say, yeah.
that's so me and Peter are doing that's Don't Burn Your Sausage in Neisner, but it's sold out. Then we're doing a thing in East London on Saturday for Hemingway's Casino. It's a food and wine pairing. We're doing that. On September, I'm trying to think of the public shows, because I've got a lot of sort of corporate functions that I'm doing. But I think I'm doing. There's the Baron in Irene that I've got to remember the date. Then there's another Baron, Benoni Country Club. Look out for. I'm going to start doing a regular gig at Bev's Burgers. We have stand-ups. A lot of fun. It was about a month ago when I did a kind of cool gig. I did my 25-year anniversary gig. So I've been doing stand-up for 25 years, and I got two of my oldest colleagues, Al Progers, who headlined on the night that I did my first ever show. And if you're a fan of the Pure Manati show, you'll remember Ronnie Madimula, who was in the early days. Him and me used to travel around the country together in my Ford Laser. That's not an endorsement, but because in those days you didn't travel by airplane, you drove in a 1.3 liter Ford. But so we had a lot of fun. But I still love stand up as well. I'm just enjoying that I can do all my passions and have fun with it.
Fantastic, man.
No,
Fantastic. As I said, like I enjoy your comedy. The Pure Manati show was legendary, bro. That shit was legendary. We used to sit and get high and watch it. Like it was legendary. So big up to be part of that, like and part of the comedy landscape. And
Thanks,
much love
man.
and all the best to the Braai Master, man. To the ultimate Braai experience. As I said to my
Thanks.
listeners,
We have
I'll be putting all the details in the description
yes.
below. Like you say, it's in I wrote it down, the 25th to 27th of October.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. My brother, thanks a lot, and thanks for being on
And
time again. Oh, you want to
speak
say
to me,
something?
maybe. Yeah, I was going to say maybe we give you a couple of tickets to give away if you have.
Oh shit! Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Make
Thank you for
people
that.
vote for you for the podcast of the year, or whatever it is, and if they send through the thing that they voted for you, they get in
Yeah,
line to win
yeah,
tickets.
yeah. Let's
Eh?
say
Why not?
if anybody, the first, let's say three tickets or two, however many, the first three or two comments, like let's make it interesting and say like and comment. So so,
Yep.
so you have to put
So
in
we
the effort.
pump you in the algorithm, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Thanks, bro.
we'll send those three each a set of double tickets.
Absolutely fantastic. That's great, man. And again, thanks for being on time. I can't overstress that. I don't shit. I was gonna say something that's probably gonna prejudice me in the future, so I'll just end it there. My brother is
No,
still
it's
nice
fine.
and early. Still nice and early. We still probably both got full days ahead. Wow, this was great. All the best for the Ultimate Prime Master, and yes to all my listeners. The first three that can like and comment on this channel are on this episode will get three tickets courtesy of Chris Forrest, the ultimate comedian or ultimate Braai comedian.
Go with that. Yes,
My brother,
the
thanks
only
a lot.
bright comedian.
The
Thanks so
only
much.
Braai comedian. Dope. I like that. My king, thanks a lot for coming through. And thanks for the tickets and for your enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. And
That's
let
it.
me know. I'll be in touch with Bridget via the for those information about the tickets, right?
Cool. Perfect.
Salute,
All right.
salute, my team. One love, one love.
Cheers.
Okay.